Here is an example of resolution in predicate logic. So, as you know, there are given few statements, sentences. So, first of all, what you have to do is that whatever sentence is given, you have to convert each of the sentences into a predicate logic form first, and then you have to convert each of the predicate logics into its clausal form. So as you can see, the first statement is John likes all kinds of food. So the predicate logic will be for all x, where x is a food. What does it imply? It implies that John likes x. John likes the food, right? So it's the predicate logic. So whenever we are going to convert this into its clause form, that time, as you can remember, that is, if a implies b, it is equivalent to not a or b, in the sense not food x or likes John x. That's it. Next example is a statement is, you can see apples are food. Simple, it's propositional logic. Food, apples. Apple is food, and here chicken is food. It is food, chicken. Since its clause form is the same as it's a predicate logic, so for both of them they are same. I mean, this is its clause form and this is its clause form. That's it. Next statement is that anything anyone eats and does not get killed is food. Well, for all x and for all y, it means x eats y, that is x is the person who is eating y and is alive, right? Does not get killed means you can also write not of get killed, but in the next statement you can see it is written a word is given that is alive, so it is better to use that word because it is going to be useful in your resolution, right? Whenever to be cancelled out. So alive x implies that it is food, that is y is food. So whenever we are going to convert it into clause form, it is like not eats xy, or not alive, that is eats or not alive, or food y, that is this term. Whenever negation is going to be applied over this, it will be not, and negation is applied to and, it will be or, and negation is applied over alive, that is alive not alive, right? And the next statement is Bill eats peanuts and is still alive. This is simple. Eats Bill peanut, that is Bill eats peanut. Eats is the predicate, right? Bill eats peanut and Bill is alive, right? Bill is alive. Next statement is that Susan eats anything Bill eats, that is anything, that is all x, that is Bill eats x, that is any x that Bill eats, implies that Susan eats that x, right? Bill eats x, Susan eats that x. So whenever we are going to convert it into clause form, it will be not eats Bill and x, or eats Susan x. In whenever we are going to get a resolution, we should better number it those x for better understanding or better readability. So write the first x as x1 in this way. Next x1 is here and we have to write x1. It is x2 and it is the first y, so write y1, x2 y1, x2 y1, x2 y1, x2 y1. Next there is x3, 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 and I have already written x3 here, and this is x3. So this is the statement that is to be proved. John likes peanut, right? So in resolution, what we do, we try to solve it by contradiction, right? That means it is said that we have to prove John likes peanuts, but if we can prove that John does not likes peanuts, false, that time it automatically by contradiction becomes John likes peanuts. So let's try it. So since it is given, we will start with what, the predicate logic for it, and with negation sign before. That means does not likes John peanuts. Okay, now we have written our contradicted form, contradicted predicate logic. Now we have to find out some predicates which having opposite signed predicate of this. Okay, so let's find it. So in the first statement, as we can see, there is a always we are going to find out in the clause form. Okay, all the clause form are going to be checked. Likes is here, right? So we can use this thing. Here it is. Write the thing just by the side of it. Now we are going to try to get inference using these two clauses. So by watching this, looking at these two clauses, we are doing, simply you can say we are doing ORing between these two things. By looking at these things, what we can contradict, we can predict that, or we can see that likes are same, right, but opposite sign, it will get cancelled out. But as you can see here, it is John matches, and this statement is said that it is true. This statement is said that true. So to for the sentence to be true, that time this x1 must be peanut, right? So x1. So if this is that, so likes and likes will get cancelled out, and what will be remaining is food. x1 means peanut. Okay, next, since we got only peanut, let me write it down, the number of the statement. This was 1. Food. Now we have to we will try to find out some clause forms which are being opposite of food, that is positive food. There is something, as you can see, which is having some implication also, this food. So there is the food. We will try to cancel out things, and our aim is to reach to a empty clause. If we can find out the empty clause, we can reach to the empty clause. That time we can assume, or we can say that it is reached to that proof. So let's do it. So we are going to use fourth one. So I have written it, that is it's the fourth clause. So here you can see that there is a food, positive food, and there is a negative food. So whenever we were going to get some add those two things, that time food and food will get cancelled. And for this statement to be true, that y1 must be peanut. So let me write it. So what we are going to have, it will be remaining, it's x2, we don't know x2 right now, but we know y1, that is peanut or not alive x2. Fine. Now what we have, we will try to find out next statement which will cancel out some of these two things. So let me find out. So as you can see in the fifth statement here, it is similar to this, right? So let's write it. Number is 5. Fine. But one thing what we can see from here is that this thing, the entire thing, which can be said or converted into not its x2, not opposite of it will be and, opposite of it alive x2. And this will be remaining the same, since if we are going to add those two things and check those two things, that is, you can see that this is the positive term and it is the negative term. When you are going to add these two things, as you can see clearly that this thing is inside of it. To for this statement to be true, in this case x2 must be Bill, right? So let me write it down. Bill x2, right? This statement to be true, x2 must be Bill, and its and not its will get cancelled out, and this entire thing will get cancelled out with this, and what will be remaining? Empty clause. Since it is an empty clause, it is an empty clause, we can say by contradiction that John likes peanuts is true. Thank you.